Good morning, bookers. Nigel from Excellent Books here. Sun's out, but we're not out in the library. We're in the conservatory. I've got jobs to do. I've got to cut the grass. Rained last night, we've developed a little leak, and it's where the screws do the older polycarbonate down. So I've got to reseal them. And what I'm here for, make your cinnamon brew, get your titty mug out, get your tits out. What I'm here for, a week ago, and number 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth book of my gothic horror challenge is The Monk by Matthew Lewis. Finished it a week ago, and to be honest with you, while I've been reading my next book, this one is stuck in my mind. I do have a few notes for it. Now, after the first one of my challenge, brilliant. The second one, it was a romance, and I found that I'm not into romances. So when you first open this, I was not hoping for a lot, to be honest with you. I was not hoping for a great deal. But this book, I've got notes on it. So, it's classed as a pioneer of Gothic fiction. Matthew Lewis, the author, was born in 1775. At the time, you'd class him as upper class. At the age of 19, so that's 1796, this was published. 19 years old. I think he then went on to write plays, a few other shorter books, which didn't make the impact that this one did. But he became more well known as a playwright. At the time, it created a massive scandal. One, because it's about the fall of a monk. It's about religion, the devil, the Roman Catholic Church, torture, nuns, rape, everything. So it was pretty early on in its career, published in Russian, Italian, French, German, all the languages, and it was a massive, massive seller because of the controversy it sparked for the time. You've got to remember, in the 1796, when it was published, there weren't no phones, weren't no electric, there weren't cars. You know, things that we take so for granted. So the language is different, but it is still very easy to read, very easily read. I had to look up a few words, as you can see, the pink tabs. Not many though, to say it was wrote back then. And the themes, because it's very, is it religious? Yeah, it's got some religious themes in it. Now, when it was first published, there's a famous English poet called Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and his review of it was gaudy, inappropriate, far-fetched, unnatural. Now, he was like one of the big dog poets at the time, and for him to say that, you know, that's one of the things that sparked the controversy in it. So, what's it about? Because I don't like spoilers, I like to go into my books blind. I've said it before. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you that will spoil your read, that you can't get from the back, you can't get off the picture at the front, and the very brief introduction from the Penguin book that I've got. So you can basically, I'm not going to spoil it, I'm not, because it is a really good, it didn't take me long to read it. It's a really good, fast-paced book. It revolves around the abbot of the Capuchin monastery and cathedral in Madrid. Now, this fella, less of it, Winnie. She's up at barking at birds for some, or the horses. We've got a riding stables about half a mile up past the woods, past the school, and they come down our road. She hates them. So it revolves around the monk, the head of the Capuchin order in Madrid, and he's called Ambrosio. Yeah, Ambrosio. Now, he is the epitome of devout worship. It revolves around him when he's in his late 35s. This is all in the first chapter, you'll get this. And the first chapter's only like 5 pages, so I'm not spoiling anything. It revolves about his decline. And because he's such a devout, godly person that never leaves the monastery, only to give sermons to the adoring Madrid crowd. It's about his fall from the religious life into debauch, sexual, rape, murder, torture, Satanism, and finally his death. And what a brilliant character he is. Now, in the first chapter, first few pages, you're introduced to another monk called Rosario. This is a woman that is in love with Ambrosio, the head monk. Now, she's into Satanism, big time. So, it's about the decline. I'm going to have to fix that gate. It's a bit on the... Seems to have dropped. Sorry. And she'll do anything for the attention of Ambrosio. And between them both, it's about the decline of religion with this man. Now, you've got 2 other romantic side stories in it. I think that's why it's called a romance. 2 young in the very early 20s, two young couples, and the rest of the story revolves around those 6 characters basically, but mainly the 4. They're all individual, but mainly how they all interact. Now, in it isn't just a religious church book. There's a trip to a haunted castle. There's bandits in the woods. There's a sword fighting. There's intrigue. There's a haunting. There's, what else have I put? There's kidnap. There's torture. There's poisoning. There's everything. This young lad, Matthew Lewis, got the bucket and he threw everything into this book. So it is not only a romance between 2 couples and the decline of the monk. It's an adventure book. It's just a damn good read. And it's a real good, easy page turner. It's good how the devil's depicted. It's called Satan in the book, obviously, by the time. It's not the devil. So how Satan's depicted the first time as he appears as a cherub, a young cherub with white, gorgeous wings, a fallen angel. You know, so when the next time is introduced, is very much like the cover. So it shows how Satan wants to be seen. And in the end, it shows that Satan was running this story. It's a really good little plot tie-up. And towards the end of the book, I'll just read you this one little paragraph. And it's when Ambrosio's been caught, because it's an easy book. You know what's going to be happening all the way through it, basically. So he's been caught. He's making a deal with the devil, with Lucifer, and so you've got the first description, the second description of him. Lucifer stood before him a second time, but he came not as when at Matilda's summons he borrowed the Sephram's form to deceive Ambrosia. So the Sephiras, they're like teenage angel cherubs. He appeared in all that ugliness which since his fall from heaven has been his portion. His blasted limbs still bore marks of the almighty thunder. A swaathy darkness spread itself over his gigantic form. His hands and feet were armed with long talons. Fury glared in his eyes, which might have struck the bravest hearts with terror. Over his huge shoulders waved 2 enormous sable wings, and his hair was supplied by living snakes, so Sable's black wings, which twined themselves round his brows with frightful hissings. In one hand he held a roll of parchment, and in the other an iron pen. Still lightning flashed around him, and the thunder with repeated blast seemed to announce the dissolution of nature. So that's where the picture on the front is. And it's just, it's not wordy, but if it was wrote this year by a modern author, it'd be, 100 pages shorter. Because it is wordy, but when you're reading it for the time it was written, 1796, it isn't, There's very few notes at the back, about 5 pages, so you don't need to look up much. The introduction's only small, but I really enjoyed this book. It isn't a romance, but it is a romance. You could have also put The Monk, an adventure story, on it as well. Quick one for you then, folks. I enjoyed it. I recommend you read it. Read something out your comfort zone every now and again. You might surprise yourself. And that's it for today. I'm going to fix the roof. I'm going to cut my grass. I'm going to take my girls out for a walk. And that's it, folks. Happy reading. Stay gorgeous. And I'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fantastico stuff, and leave comments. Ta-ra, folks.